been working on this almost the whole day. Well, not quite, but more hours than I wished for. These are called Soss Invisible hinges. I'll just take this out of here and I'll show you what they do. So these hinges fold 180 degrees, and when you fold it up, they disappear. And it has been incredibly difficult to make a jig to put these in so that they fit in. They have to fit in flush. There has to be a space here that's correct, and everything else, so that they do this. And even so, I can see it's not quite perfect. I think I've got to pull some screws a little longer or something. A little bit longer screws. So I made a jig, and this is kind of a copy of their jig. I couldn't find, these are the Soss 101, the smallest hinges. And I couldn't find a jig that was available for these hinges from Soss. And it would be easy to do this. You would just take the hinge, put it in a hole, put some Bondo around it, let it dry, and then you would use what's called a pattern bit, like this, that has the bearing on the top, and it would run inside there and go around and cut the hole out. The problem is, these are 9.5 millimeters, and the smallest top bearing bit that I could find here locally or even elsewhere was 10 millimeter, and so that's just too big. And the bottom bearing bits don't work for this application, so I had to use what's called a router template. And that's this doohickey on the bottom of the router, and this thing here then runs on the inside of that there. And the tricky part is that when you do this, because see, that's a 6 millimeter up spiral cut bit, and this here is, I think it's 9.5 or 8.5, whatever it is. It's smaller than the hole is, and so you have to take an offset from the edge of the bit to the outside of this collar and add that into your dimensions for the hole. So the hole needs to be 42 by 9.5, but it is actually 45 by 12.5 because of the offset of this router template thing. So a little bit of math involved, a little bit of fitting up and kind of goofing around and trying to make it all work. But I got it to work. I'm very pleased with this. This is just a test piece, but now I got to do this for some doors and for some tabletops. And it's so nice. The hinges are so beautiful, and they really do work well when they're installed properly, and they look good. Because otherwise, you could have a big gap here, and it looks like, I mean, I did some by hand just to do it for the mock-up, and they look like ass, to be honest. So that's the jig. That took a lot of tries to get. There's two sections of this thing. I can show you on this side here. There's a high section and a low section because of the way the hinge is built. So that's what the screws are. When I'm doing the shallow section, I take the screws out and it does the whole thing. When I'm doing the deep section, I put the screws in and the collar hits here and here, and then I also set the bit deeper to do that. So anyways, that's what I've been doing. So anyways, a quick shout out to my my Auntie Drina. Hi Drina, how you doing? And also to my mom and all my other friends and family out there. Everybody take care. Bye-bye.